Hey there. So we're just going to cover a couple of simple stretches for the legs, the quads and the hip flexors in particular. So for the hip flexors, there's a couple of ways you can do it. We're going to look at standing. So you're up nice and tall, back foot is back, but I don't have my heel on the floor. Back knee is slightly bent, hips facing forward. And I want to try and keep my upper body nice and tall. As if I'm tilting my pelvis up a little bit at the front, you might already start to feel a little stretch here. If you feel that's not enough, you can kind of lean into it a little bit more. And this can get tiring on the legs, like you're trying to push back a little bit with the glute and hamstring here, stand into this leg. What you don't want to do is activate this, you want to pull this leg in, you're trying to push it back, so you're trying to create as much stretch, or feel the stretch here, and go for a mild to medium stretch. If you find it a little bit tiring, you can always do it against a door. Switch legs. So, kind of up against the door, that way I can use my arms a little bit as well, pushing back, try and lift my upper body nice and tall, use my arms to help do that. If you're still not getting a stretch, you can always try and go back a little further with the leg, and again trying to lift it. So that's for the hip flexor. Coming out. For the quad then, we're trying to do the usual kind of bend the knee, grab the foot, trying to bring the leg up. You want to make sure that the knees are in line, that you're not, this knee isn't too far forward or too far back. Knees are in line, up nice and tall. Again, hips are squared, so you're not like turned out like this, or turned in. Up, tall, and then trying to bring the heel toward the glutes. You may need to use a strap or a towel or something if you can't reach your foot. Kind of just reach back, because you want it to, again, be a mild to medium stretch. You don't want to grab it so much that it's already, just when you're holding it, it's already screaming at you. If you can get all the way to here and you're not feeling a stretch, at that point you can think about tilting the pelvis up a little bit at the front, just to add in a little bit more, but again keeping the knees squared off. Again, if your quads are tight, you probably won't make it to here in the first place, so don't worry too much about it. You're probably be able to keep the hips relaxed, keep the leg back. You can always do the tilting the pelvis, it'll change the stretch a little bit when your leg is back here. And again, if you want to stretch more on the inside, you can try and turn your foot out a little bit. If you want to stretch more on the inside, you can turn your foot in. Might be easier if you grab with the other leg at that stage. You get a slightly different stretch. So just kind of get all the muscles. So it's like 4 of them that run across the front of your thigh. So that's your quads, hip flexors. And the last one you might do, because it's similar in shape, but very different in execution. So this one, I am going to put my heel back this for my calves. I'm going to tilt so I've got a nice straight line. So this one I might need to come back away from the wall a little bit. Again, it depends on the length of your arms and your torso. And I just want to plant my heel and then bend my front leg, trying to keep my body straight from my ankle all the way through to my shoulder. And I'll get that stretch into my calf. Couple of different muscles in your calves, and then after a while you can bend. Try and get that muscle. And then again, you turn your foot out. Lean forward first. Bend. And you'll get that third muscle. It's slightly awkward. I generally prefer to do this slightly different way, just so that you can do them all kind of together. Like you've got a wall or a door, and you're doing all 3 of the exercises up against the wall or the door. If you want to stretch your hamstrings while you're at the door, 1 foot in front, 1 foot behind, kind of bring your hips back to touch, so you're kind of resting against the door, and then start to lean your upper body forward. Foot is pointed because we've already stretched the calf. We're really focusing on the hamstring. The more I try to really kind of tilt my pelvis down this time, so it's less about kind of bringing my upper body forward and more about tilting my pelvis down at the front. That'll get that stretch into my hamstring. After I stretch the hamstring, I can always flex the foot and try and stretch the hamstring and the calf together. So we've done them separately, then you do them together. Good. Good. So there are your kind of front and back muscles that you focus on. For the sides, come out. Let my hip shift to this side, and then I'm going to reach across this way. So I'm trying to kind of like stretch in here. So I want to bring this over, and then tilt. And again, I can just use my hand to kind of lean against the door, so I'm not using this muscle. Just trying to stretch it. The other hand here. Good. And we do the same on the other side. And all the exercises. The last one then, for glutes. And you can, again, use the door, you can hold on, kind of cross your ankle at your knee, and sit back. And do it that way. If you feel very comfortable, or you want a little workout in your thigh, you can just sit against the wall, bring your foot up, and do it this way. And you're trying to stretch out here, that's what we're looking for. Again, the wall just keeps the back upright, and again, I haven't sunk all the way down. The more I sink, the more I'm going to stretch in here. So I don't have to get down to level. For some people, you might be up here, and that's plenty. Just make sure you got good grip on the floor. If it's a slippy floor, or you're in your socks and you're on the carpet, you're just going to go flying. So make sure you got a good solid grip on the floor. And if not, you can do the other version where you're holding the door handle, or banisters is probably better. You can also do that one just sitting in a chair. So, the difference with this one, because you're already level, you're going to start back and then try to come up tall. And as you come up tall, you'll feel more of a stretch. And only if you feel kind of relaxed, you try and go a little bit more. And only if you can sit up really tall when you're not really feeling a stretch, even attempt to try and go forward. Yeah? If you want to just take it easy, mild to medium stretch. Try it out, let me know.